All right. Hi everyone. I don't know what happened before, but I tried going live and then it cut out. So let me grab this link and I'm going to share it onto the Facebook page. So we'll wait for a few of you to join in and then I will just answer a bunch of questions that have been coming in from Facebook, from our newsletter, from all the places. Just asking some questions about this mystery crochet along. If you haven't heard of it, no worries. I'll guide you through it today. And if you know, it's not too late to start. So, hey. Okay, some people are joining. Thank you for letting me know you're here. Let me know where you're from. And let me know if you're joining in on this mystery crochet along. Live on YouTube right now. Check out the WIP Wednesday here. Boom. Post. And also I'm going to share it on my page too, because sometimes people don't see it, me sharing this live. We are live streaming. I am very much live here in Wisconsin. Let's see who we're awesome. We got some Minnesotans over here. Georgia, Michigan. Hi Dawn. Hi Allison. Little Rock. Sweet. Okay, let's go to the page. I'm just gonna give me just 2 seconds here. We'll go. I have my computer here and then my camera here. And I gotta go to Creator Studio here. Just give me 2 more minutes. Sorry. It's difficult to when you only have one camera, so I can only go live on one platform. But we're getting there. And then I'm gonna grab some crochet stuff. So just give me a second. View here. All right. There we go. So welcome everybody who's watching. Thank you for letting me know where you're from. Wow, we got France in the house. Awesome. Okay, so I want to discuss some things with everybody. The questions that have been coming in online about the mystery crochet along. So it's WIP Wednesday, and here we are. We are in the middle of a crochet along. It's a mystery. I can't tell you what it is, and somebody asked that question too. They're like, so the questions I have are, what are we making? And sorry, can't answer that for you because it's a mystery. Can't spoil the surprise yet. Okay, so, and I'm really bad at keeping secrets, so I hope I don't mess up because we're super live right now. So let me find my ask questions here. Okay, so view this post. I want to see the comments. Questions did come in. All right, what are we making? Can't tell you. All right, our extra items that we need in the last part, something for your average crocheter that will have around already. Tiffany asked for the last part of the crochet along for part 5. It does say that we will be using special like notions that we would have at home in our stash. And yes, you'll have them in your stash. And if you don't actually need to use them. So to qualify even for the giveaway, you don't need to use them, but you will have time. If you want to use the same ones as we do, you can go to the store and get them or order them online. We will share links to our extra notions that we are using, our extra embellishments, but again, you don't have to use them to qualify for the giveaway. Christine asks, when will the pattern be posted? Okay, so part 1 was already posted on Monday. Okay, and hang on just a second, let me grab some yarn here. All right, so we've got part 1 was on Monday. I'm sorry, my nose ring is like twisted. And Nikki posted that one on her page, and I shared that. And I can actually share with all of you the link to Nikki's blog. So if you are just joining us on the Crochet Along, you can start today even. Totally cool with that. Let me see, is this live? Oh, here's the live chat. Okay. Hi, 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 hi. Oh, cool. Oh, there's questions in the super chat too. Cool. Okay, so I'll go back and answer your questions in the chat in a minute. But I want you to go to this link. Get all the info here. Okay, so I posted it in the chat here. All the information for this Crochet Along is in the blog. If you have any questions about it, it should be in the blog, and if it's not, you can always comment to the chat here, or you can message us or email me, Nadia@YARNutopia.com. I will for sure answer you immediately. I get my email on my phone, so I'll just answer you. And the question that I've been getting is when the patterns will be posted. So Monday, part 1 was posted, and we try to get it like 7 a.m. Central Time, which is my time. So we're going off of California time because Nikki is in California. So I'm always going on her time because she's earlier than me. So that's 5 a.m. California time. And if it's not on the blog by 5 a.m., it will be by or before 7 Pacific time, okay? But we got to get some sleep, and we might not be up on right away, okay? So it will be in our morning time though. She's in California, I'm in Wisconsin, so we're kind of going off of Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, so I'm reading some of your comments on here. So check it out. On Monday, it's already posted, so it's on there now forever. Part 2 was posted this morning, and already some of you are making them. I feel like some of you have had troubles with yours, so I do want to clarify that in the next topic here. But we're posting these patterns in the morning, okay? And the schedule is on the blog. That link that I shared with you. Who's Nikki? Sherry, Nikki is the other person I'm doing this collaboration with, this mystery crochet along. So part 1, Nikki from Nikki's Homemade Crafts, she created part 1 for this, okay? So today I posted part 2, and that's my part. Then part 3, you're going to go back to Nikki. I will link to her blog where you can find her written pattern and her tutorial and everything for part 3, which will be posted on Friday. Okay, and then on Monday, you'll come back to me, and I'm getting so many awesome comments. Okay, cool. So on Monday, you'll come back to me. I'll have part 4, okay? Then on Wednesday next week, part 5 will be released. And then you'll have until next week, Friday, to finish everything, sew in all your ends, attach all your pieces, all that good stuff, okay? So that's how that will be. Let's see here. I hope I'm doing okay organizing this. It seems like it can get confusing, and I don't want to confuse you guys a little bit more, so I just want to make sure that I answer all of your questions completely right. And it's all in the schedule, and in the schedule on the blog post that I shared, it shows the schedule and where you should go for what dates, okay? So Jacqueline says that's her birthday. When's your birthday, Jacqueline? Happy birthday! Yay! I love birthdays. Oh my gosh. You'll have a nice, cool, fun new project for your birthday. All right, let me scroll up here. Oh, Jacqueline asked, having trouble with the single crochet around the front of the triangle. Beginner. Okay, so even if you're a beginner, you could totally do this. Just make sure that the video tutorial, 9/5, congratulations, happy birthday on the 25th, next Friday. You'll have a whole weekend to celebrate. Awesome. So still answering your question, Jacqueline, I want you to know that the project is for beginners, so you can do this. Don't give up. The single crochets along the long side of the triangle, basically wherever your hook fits is where you should put your single crochets. It does not really matter because you won't really see that when we attach all the pieces, and that's what keeps the mystery alive, is like, what are we doing, you know, how exciting. So you can just single crochet along the long edge of your triangles, 24 stitches. And actually in Nikki's tutorial on part 1, she shows exactly where your single crochets can go, and there should be from the center to one corner and the center to the other corner, there should be 12 and 12. So there should be 24 along the long side. I don't have a triangle here in front of me, or I would show you, but here we are. So that's one of the questions too. Let me go back. Let's see here. So the patterns are posted in the morning. All the extra pieces you'll need will be, they'll be either in your craft stash, in your junk drawer, in your closet, way behind the wrapping paper. I don't know. All right, so more questions. Let's see here. Let me get a drink of coffee real quick. I'm answering all of your questions, so if you have any more, please put them in the chat and I will answer them here today. It's WIP Wednesday. I would ask you, let me know what's on your hook, but I already know all the triangles, right? I'm drinking coffee with pumpkin spice creamer. It's my favorite right now. Okay, so let's see here. The triangles from yesterday and the ones from today aren't exactly the same size. Is that going to be okay? So this question is from Sarah. If your squares, or I'm sorry, if your triangle, I said squares, if your triangles are not exactly the same size to part 1, either you can do more rows or less rows depending on if part 2 is too small compared to part 1's triangle, they have to be the same size, okay? So 7 inches, or it's 7.5 inches on the long side, and then 5.5 inches on the short sides, okay? So if it is too small, make more rows for part 2. If it is too big, do less rows for part 2. So it doesn't matter how many stitch count or row count you do, it matters about measurement. So your triangles do need to be the same size, okay? So let me reply to Sarah. I answered your question in my live here. So I hope that she could see this, and if not, I will respond to her afterwards. Share, copy, and go back. Okay. Good. Answering questions. Okay, so let me go back to our live here on my computer and let me scroll up on some of these. Sorry. Okay, so we are super live here. Like, oh, Sarah, you're here. Good. I'm glad I answered your question. I just commented back to you on Facebook. Okay, I'm excited for this first crochet along ever. Alicia, I'm so glad. This is a first crochet along for all of you. It's my first crochet along that I'm ever hosting. So there's a lot of bumps in the road. So I hope that this is a learning curve for all of us. And I hope that this does not deter you from doing future crochet alongs with me, because I'm having so much fun, and I just hope that I can deliver and we can have so much fun together, and I can maybe do this again in the future. I really am enjoying this a lot. And I love seeing all your pictures, like that they're actually coming out nicely. So, okay, if the measurements are wrong, do I need to change needles? Joyce asked if I need to change the crochet hook for the triangles if they're coming out too big. That's is very similar to Sarah's question. Your triangles need to be the same size, okay? So 7.5 inches on the long side and 5.5 inches on the short sides, okay? And then if you're, like I said, if you are doing, if your part 2 is 7.5 inches on the long side and 5.5 inches on the short sides, okay? And then if you're, like I said, if you are doing, if your part 2 is too small compared to part 1, then do more rows for part 2. If it's too big, just take out a few rows. But always crochet along the long edge at the end of your piece. Okay, and that is also in the written instructions too. I did share if your piece is too big, do less rows, and if it's too small, do more rows. I did 14 rows total for mine. Let me know if you had to do 14 or 13 or more or less. Thanks for posting on Facebook. You're here. I want to find you. Well, I'm glad you are all here watching. So a lot of you have part 1 finished. Charlie just said I have part 1 completed. Awesome. So today part 2 has been posted. So I'm having problems with the single crochet. Oh yeah, okay, we talked about that. Just want to make sure. These comments are so funny. Okay, not confused. Good. I'm glad. I'm so glad you're not confused, you guys. I just don't want to confuse you even more. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just like reading the comments here. So I just want to make sure I answer all of your questions. And if I don't, please comment again. Okay, I'm gonna mess up your name. I'm so sorry. Franca Perotti. You can get these patterns I can share with you in the links. If you go to YARNutopia.com and just hit blog, it's right there. Okay. Thanks. I pronounced it right. But I'll share the link in the super chat here. Copy and paste. Get all the info here. There you go. Okay, so is this something for the house like decor? I can't tell ya. Somebody's asking. Christina, I can't tell you what it is. But everybody can crochet it, so it's I guess you can guess that it's not a wearable because everybody is different sizes and this is just a one piece, so okay. So yes, can you add the blog link under your video, please? Can you add the blog link under your video for someone joining? The blog link is in the description of this video, and it is in all over the place. I've shared it on all social media. It's in the link in my bio on Instagram. It's also in the description of this video, and I just shared it in the super chat here, and then it's also on Facebook page and group, okay? The link is everywhere. Let's see here. So if my triangles aren't the same size, I should be fine as long as they match each other's size. Yes, Candy, if your triangles do not match exactly our size, like say you have 8 inches and 6 inches on your triangles, make sure all your triangles are exactly the same. Does that make sense? Because we're going to be sewing these together in the end. So we just want to make sure that the short sides are all the same measurement and the long sides are all the same measurement, okay? I don't want to give too much away because it is a mystery, but yeah. Let's see here. One version of my shawl has a knit second, and the second version will be crocheted. Can't decide. Ooh, interesting. Hi, waving to everyone. Okay, so even if you're on part 1, totally cool. You have until next week Friday to finish, so you can be on your own time, own terms. So okay, cool. So yeah, if your square ends up, 5 inches and 7 inches, as long as all your did I say square? I keep saying square. All your triangles measure the same, even if they're 5 inches on the short sides and 7 inches on the long side, you're good. Even if you don't have Brava yarn, you can use whatever yarn you have. That that is a good question that I've been getting a lot of. Like, if you don't have Bravo yarn, you can still qualify for the giveaway and you can still make this piece with us, even if you don't have Bravo yarn or not using the same colors as us, okay? So you can use whatever colors you want, and you can use any yarn you want as long as it's a worsted weight. I mean, I have this fun Lion Brand basic stitch. You can use like this. If you have Red Heart Super Saver, Red Heart Soft, Red Heart with Love, whatever. You can use, I know somebody was using Lion Brand Heartland yarn. That's really pretty. You can use paint box yarns. You can use Bravo yarns. I'm looking at my stash right now of all the yarns that I might have that could be equivalent. If you have any questions on what type of yarn, if you have a specific yarn that you're not sure if you want to use, let's see here. Yeah, like you can't use wool or something, totally fine. You can use an acrylic, polyester type of yarn, a cotton yarn works great. Yeah, any worsted weight size 4 yarn, okay? So yeah, similar to like basic stitch here, or I have the, I wonder if I have a skein in here. Oh yeah, here's this Marina. I don't have the label, but this is the color I used in part 2. Yeah, see, DZD's using Red Heart yarns, has great yarns too. Yep, you can use Feels Like Butter yarn, Michelle. That's actually very soft. I just got some for the first time ever the other day, and I love that yarn. It's going to be so awesome. And let me see here. Somebody's asking, part 2 is on my blog, and Tammy, the link, I did share it in the chat here. You can go there and just scroll down to part 2, and the video is actually in there as well. Or if you just want to go to my channel on here on YouTube, great. You can go there too and check out part 2 video. Part 2 written instructions is on the blog. They do not have to be the same color. So we used 4 colors. So for part 1, I'll explain this now. Listen carefully. Part 1 has the color you used 1 ball of, okay? So I have 1, so it's 1 ball, 1 ball, 2 balls, 2 balls, okay? For your parts here. So part 1 is, and you can use scrap yarns, that's totally cool. So part 1 is using the ball of yarn that you just have 1 ball of. Part 2 is using the yarn that you just have 1 ball of, different color. Okay, so we're using different colors. You can use the same color, that's cool, but we're using different colors. So part 1 is color 1, part 2 is color 2, part 3 and 5 are together the same color, and they are the ones that you have 2 balls of. Part 3 and part 5. And then part 4 alone is using 2 balls of yarn, same color. Okay, so that's 4 colors, 6 balls of yarn total. Okay, I hope that's clarifies, and if that made it super confusing, I can try to like type it out to you, but that is how the colors are going to go. So part 1 has color 1, part 2 has color 2, part 3 and part 5 have color 3, and part 4 has color 4. Okay, now our part, my part and Nikki's part 5 is completely different. So you can choose, we'll post them up at the same time, you can watch both of them and then go to the one that you want to finish and how you want to finish your full project, because we finish our project sort of differently. Okay, attaching, like the attachment method, and okay, Nancy, I will type that out because yeah, it kind of sounds confusing. I'm so sorry. I don't want to confuse you guys. This is my first crochet along ever, so do they have to be new skeins of yarn? They do not have to be new skeins of yarn. They have to be, you have to at least have 218 yards per skein. So let me have my my calculator is on my phone. Let me go to my calculator and see, because I'm really bad at math, and that's why I have a calculator. 216 yards. Did I say 216? 218 yards times 6 skeins. So we'll be using about 1,200, almost 1,300 yards of yarn total. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, there's more questions. What brand could you compare Brava to? Candy, if you go to YARNsub.com, type in Brava worsted weight, and all the yarns that are a substitute will pop up. So, need a substitute. Go to YARNsub.com and type in Brava worsted, and then in the search bar. Okay, and then you can go to the search bar, type in Brava worsted, and then it will pop up all the yarns that are equivalent. So I don't know all the yarns that are equivalent, but something like a Red Heart Super Saver, a Lion Brand Basic Stitch. Somebody said they're using Feels Like Butter, which is Lion Brand yarn. You can use Hirschner's even has like Hirschner's yarn. I don't know what this. Sorry, don't look at my armpit. Willow Wash. This is a good yarn to use too. I mean, there's so many worsted weight yarns, size 4 medium, that you can use. Just make sure that here it says 4. Okay, or on here on Basic Stitch it says 4. Okay, so just make sure you have a yarn that's equivalent to that. Let's see here. Oh, I love that yarn. Awesome. Okay, so part 3 is going to be released on Friday, and that is Nikki's part. Nikki is going. I'm going to direct you to Nikki's website where she shows her video tutorial and her written instructions. I guess I didn't put stitch counts only because stitch count didn't really matter. This is Brenda's question. She's asking, is there a total of single crochets on each side that you end up with, having trouble seeing them? Yeah, there should be. I'll edit that. I'm so sorry. I'll edit that and get back to you. If you want to email me, Nadia at YARNutopia.com, I'll send it to you. Otherwise, I'll update the blog right after this live, and then the stitch counts will be there. My bad. I'll write that down. Sharpie. Stitch counts. It's been a busy day already. Okay. And if you're watching this on the replay, I'm answering all your questions, so let's see here. Yes, the blog does show number of each ball of yarn and which parts I'm using them in. So if you, I guess I could type that up and show that to you too. Just trying to read your questions and okay. So for Nikki, she used the same color for her part 4 and 5, and I used the same color for my part 3 and 5. Does not matter, it's just how we finish. Part 5 will show you if you want to use the color you used for part 3 or if you use the color you used for part 4. It doesn't matter though, because you will have leftover for each of those colors anyway. Because part 5 is not very much crocheting. It's more just the attachment method of all of our pieces. I don't want to give anything away. Okay, so I'm just going to comment this. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Yeah, Candy, the softness of Brava yarn is very comparable to like a Red Heart with Love, if you've felt that before, or even Lion Brand Basic Stitch, if you've felt that, or a Vanna's Choice type of yarn. Yeah, it's very similar to that. So, okay. Yeah, there, Nancy, I put it in the super chat here of like what yarns I used and which parts I used them in. I hope that makes sense to you. But if not, let me know. Just email me, Nadia at YARNutopia.com, and I'll email you back. Okay. So, are you going to use a full ball per triangle, or is it just pick different colors per triangle parts? Yeah, so I used one, I didn't even use a full ball of yarn. I shouldn't say that. I used like 200 yards for part 1 that was posted on Monday for that triangle, for those 6 triangles, and they're all the same color. And then part 2, which was posted today, I used all the same color. And I mean, you could do it in all different colors. I don't think it would really take away from the design. So if you wanted to do all of your triangles in all different colors, if you want to just use scrap yarns, if you don't want to do the same colors as we do, or even just 4 colors, you could do 12 colors. It really is a mystery, and it really is not going to look bad whichever way you do it, really. It's going to look so fabulous in the end. So you can experiment with your own and do it yourself, and if you are not happy with it in the end, you can always make another one, because this will be on there forever. Give it away to somebody. But I can guarantee you're gonna love it. I can guarantee it. It's gonna be so fabulous. So those seem to be all the questions I was getting. A lot of people were having trouble and difficulty creating the triangle, but it is a moss stitch triangle. And if my video is not helpful, you can just go on YouTube and search moss stitch triangle, and there are so many tutorials out there that might help you in different ways if mine is not clear enough. But you have to for sure put a single crochet in the very first stitch on each row, and in the chain 1 spaces between the stitches. Make sure you chain 1 in between the stitches, and then when you get to the top tip corner, make sure in that chain 2 space you put a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. Okay, and then going down the other side, always work in the chain 1 spaces and chain 1 in between your stitches, and just put single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, until the very end of your triangle. Make sure to single crochet in the last chain 1 space, then chain 1, and then single crochet into the last stitch. Putting a single crochet in the last stitch and the first stitch will create that increase for the side to be longer. I did see somebody skipping that part, and theirs turned into like a diamond, and that is because they did not put the extra stitch in this actual stitch of the previous row. But you are working in the chain 1 spaces for part 2, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, Candy has a really good point. If you are brand new to crochet, then definitely use a stitch marker in your first and last stitches to know exactly where to put your stitches. Can you show us how to do that? You know what? I can. Let me grab a crochet hook and some yarn, and I'll try to do this live. Never actually crocheted live before. So we're all in this together. We're all doing this together, and we are all doing it for the first time. For me, it's my first time doing a crochet along, hosting a crochet along. And Nikki is just helping me so much. She's so helpful. She does crochet alongs all the time, and she was very organized in this. But my yarn is tangled, so let me get this untangled quick, and then I'll show you. Why is this? I'm just gonna cut this. Give me a second. And I'm gonna show you with, oh, here's a sneak peek to my Halloween costume. Yeah, I've got that on the hook right now. Okay, let me find my scissors. Oh, and I don't have my would-be fancy crochet hook. Bummer. Okay, so let's try to do this on camera so I can show you. Oh my gosh, I'm sweating. Can you see a sweat coming on my face? Okay. Let's see. Please hit the like button, guys. Thank you. Okay. If you don't know stitch markers, scrap yarn. Yeah, if you don't have any stitch markers, yeah, Candy's got some good advice, you guys. Use scrap yarns. Okay. You guys are so sweet. So I'm going to show this to you. Part 1, or I'm sorry, this is part 2. Part 2, moss stitch. You know how to do a slip knot, okay? And we are going to, I started with a magic ring, but you can chain 4 and slip stitch to the first one, first chain. So I'm just gonna slip stitch into my first chain, and let me see if I can switch my camera around so you can see my hands. Let me just move my computer. There we go. Tilt this up and then flip. How do we flip the camera? There we go. Oh, don't look at my makeup mess. Okay, can you see this? My computer. All right, let me know if you can see this, you guys. I'm gonna try to crochet like this. Okay, so for part 1, or for the first row, go into the ring and single crochet. Okay, then chain 2 and then single crochet back into the ring. Okay, that's row 1. So this loop here is going to be sewn in later. Okay, then chain 1 and turn your work around. Okay, now we're going to work into that single crochet that we just made, that previous single crochet right there. So go into there for a single crochet. Just like that. And then chain 1. Okay, then in the chain 2 space here, we're going to put a single crochet. Then chain 2, since we're in the chain 2 space, that's the corner, we got to chain 2 and then single crochet back into there. Okay, but we still have a stitch left right here. So we're going to chain 1 and then single crochet into the actual stitch. Okay, single crochet in there, just like that. Okay, I know this might fool you because the chain 4 right here is going to disappear later. I'm just going to sew this little end in, and then that's going to be flat. So now going on to row 3, chain 1, turn the work, and we're going to single crochet into the very first single crochet stitch right there. So go in, single crochet, chain 1. Then go into the chain 1 space between your stitches here and single crochet in there. And then just be sure to chain 1 between your stitches there. So chain 1 now. And now we're in the chain 2 space right there. So we're going to put single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. All in the chain 2 space. Okay, so now we're going to work down this side. So we're going to chain 1, then go into the chain 1 space right there between the 2 single crochets and single crochet in there. Then make sure to chain 1, and then in this very last single crochet, this was where somebody was getting caught up. They weren't single crocheting into that last single crochet, and that created them a diamond instead. So just make sure to single crochet into this last stitch, because that will create the increase that will make the long side. Okay, then chain 1 and turn your work around. Okay, so you can kind of see now, you just repeat row 3. This loop here is going to be disappeared, so I'm just going to fold that back. So you can start to see the triangle is starting to work out. So now row 4 is just a repeat of row 3. Just single crochet into the first single crochet, then chain 1, then single crochet into the chain 1 space, then chain 1, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, then chain 1, and now we're at the chain 2 space up top here. So just single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet into the chain 2 space. Okay, and then just do all this on this side here. So go into the, well, chain 1 first, and then go into the chain 1 space here, single crochet, chain 1, go into this chain 1 space here, single crochet in there, and now we're at the last stitch. We have to chain 1 and then single crochet into that very last single crochet. Does that make sense? And then you just repeat. So there is the start of the triangle. Okay, so that is exactly what you have to do. I was kind of getting sweaty there because I was like getting nervous because I don't film myself ever. My dad's the one who always films me. So now I had to show you guys myself. I hope I did okay. But just repeat that, okay? So hopefully that makes sense to you. And you can create part 2 triangles. Because after today we're done with triangles, and the next part is going to kind of trip you up a little bit because it is going to be a little more mysterious. I know it. So I hope that clarified exactly how these triangles are made so that you can make these too. And if you are just joining or not sure how to get information about the Crochet Along, just find the description of this video. We'll have the link to everything. And even if you start today, go back to part 1 and oh, you guys, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad I did all right with a cell phone. I'm filming from my cell phone, by the way, so. But yeah, just make your triangles, and again, if you have any more questions, please email me. Please comment on anything, anywhere, asking me your questions. I will get back to you. And I'm just having so much fun with this Crochet Along. I hope you are too, and that we can do more of these in the future. But I'm just going to wrap it up here. Again, if you're watching this on the replay, watch the whole thing. It'll answer all of your questions, and I really appreciate you all hanging out with me today. That was a lot of fun. So, all right, if you have more questions, just ask later, but I hope you have a great rest of your WIP Wednesday. Continue working on your Crochet Along pieces, and I will be back very soon. Nikki is posting her part 3 on Friday, and then I'll come back on Monday to post part 4. So stay tuned. I will be sending out a newsletter on Friday and also on Monday. So make sure you sign up for the newsletter. And yes, all right. I'm glad you guys love it. Stay safe out there, and I will check in with you guys very soon. All right. I'm gonna go get some coffee too. Bye, guys.